Hi there and welcome to the Barbara Young channel. Welcome to my Friday Sews. First of all, just like to say thank you to Jen from Today and Jen Soren for creating the hashtag Friday Sews. If you want to see who else has been putting some out today under the hashtag Friday Sews, just put that in the search bar or click on the link below. So what have I done since last week? Well, not a lot. I've been working on my bag, and the bag is the same as this one. I think I showed it before. Same style as this bag. It's got two compartments, so we've got an inner zip and an outer zip, and that comes over the top with some magnetic clasps and a sort of false front on the front, and it's basically that bag again, that style, because I want another bag to replace, well, not to completely replace, but my main bag that I use, that I normally have with me, is a green bag that I've got downstairs, and it's a bit battered. So I want another plain bag to replace that while I fix the other one. So how far have I got? Well, I've got the outer done, as it were, because this bag style, the way that I created it, because it is a self-drafted bag style, it has this outer section, which is the bag that you see, and then there's an inner section that's that I create that then fits into the inner bag. But as you see, it hasn't got the inner bag in there yet. It's just plain. So it's a bit, let's just say it's a convoluted process. It is a little bit complicated, I suppose. I'd like to simplify it if I could, but I'm not quite sure how to as yet. But maybe I might work that out at some point. Partly because the inner, I tend to have the inner as a different fabric, different material than the outer. So yeah, so that's it so far. Yeah, looking good, isn't it? With the fake flap there, that's yet to have that finished. Got the magnets here on this side. I've already put these magnets in because the way the process of construction means I have to put these in quite early on, and then the other part of the magnet will go on, I suppose, before too long. Once, as I sort of put the inner in, that's when they go in. But yeah, as you can see, it's a reasonable size as well. You know, it's quite a nice size bag. So I'm looking forward to getting that pushed on a bit more. I say that's the outer, and as you can see, it does go with the skirt, because this is from the same fabric. I made the skirt and I had enough fabric left over to make this bag as well. Now the inner, so far, the inner has gotten this far. Looks a little bit difficult. It is a bit difficult, I suppose. What I've got is I wanted a centre divide to create the two pockets sections, the two parts of it. And I had many a different way of trying to work this out. And in the end, I decided that I would use one piece of material that will come along, do the centre bit and do the sides. So that's what I've done with that. Please do excuse me a minute. I think my snozzle keeps running on me. I have no idea why. I think it is spring, and spring has sprung and the flowers are coming out and everything. And I do suffer a little bit with allergies, so it probably just that starting to trigger on me. So, you know, unfortunately, I might be like this throughout the rest of the summer. It's a bit weird, isn't it, all that sort of allergies and stuff, because some years I'm perfectly fine and I never have virtually anything, and other years I just suffer all the way. So you never know, this might be a all the way through year where I got a bit of a runny snozzle all the time. But back to the bag. So what I've done is create that, and then I'm going to got these side pieces that are going to fit in here to create the actual shape, and then I'll have effectively an inner section, an inner bag that will then slot into the main bag that I will then have to stitch round and fix it in and do some fun stuff, because I've also got the flaps for the zips that I've got to go in on it as well. They've got to be fixed in as well at some point somehow, which again is another whole process. Again, it's a bit convoluted, like I say, and I'm still not quite sure how I can make it simpler. I do want it to be simpler, I'm just not quite sure how I can make it simpler yet. But anyway, it's getting there, like I say, and then I'll eventually go inside of there in some way or other, and then that'll be sort of, yeah, you get the idea. It's a little bit all over the place. So that's the main thing I've been working on this week. I've been trying to do that, get that done. Just takes a bit of planning, because I don't make that bag very often. I've sort of got a few little notes, but it's not detailed enough. I need to get some more really detailed notes. I do have a smaller version of the bag that I have more detailed notes on, which I still need to do some work on, but the bigger version hasn't, even though it's pretty much the same, but there are some differences. Anyway, that's the bag so far. There we go. Looking good. It's getting there. So what else have I got for you? Now, last weekend was Easter weekend, and some people do celebrate that. And for those of you who do, you know, hope you had a wonderful Easter break. Now, last weekend, I actually went to see a friend, had a nice weekend. And while I was there, I did some thrifting. Which, of course, why not? Why shouldn't I want to do a bit of thrifting? And I bought a few items, so I thought I'd share with you those few items that I bought. Starting with, well, a couple of plates. Well, I say plates. One is a plate. The other one's like, I describe it as a wall hanging more than anything else. But so I'll start with the wall hanging, actually. Yeah, it's that one, that thing. Yeah, groovy, innit? It's like a Viking blowing a horn. I just thought that was absolutely brilliant. Now, I'm going to have to get my magnifying glass, because I can't quite read this. Even though I do have my glasses on, it is slightly small. This is B&G Copenhagen porcelain. Design Antonia. Anyway, it's from Copenhagen, Denmark. So there we go. Danish Viking sort of image. Yeah, I thought it was brilliant. I really do like that. I think that's absolutely wonderful. I love the colouring of it. I love the image and the way that is. You know, I like that sort of thing. You know, I think it's just absolutely fantastic. I don't know when it's from. There's no date on there. There we go. That's brilliant. And the second one is the plate, and it is this, which I looked at that and I just thought that was just absolutely wonderful. I thought it was a really lovely design. Absolutely wonderful, lovely little plate. And on the back, it's got, the mark says, I think it says Turi Design Market, made in Norway. So it's from Norway. I don't know when that's from, but I just thought that was just a brilliant image and a brilliant printer, and the design and the colours. That's very much sort of what I like. That was just brilliant. Again, fantastic sort of thing that was. Then the next thing is actually a book that I found. I thought this was a really great find. It's called A Bear Called Paddington by Michael Bond, and it's a Young Puffin publication. That one, fantastic. Yeah, and I know it's a child's book, but books like this are great to read, and I do like these type of little books. In here, at some point in its history, who knows when, it has passed through a particular bookshop, because it says here, the Children's Bookshop, Cirencester. So at some point, it was in Cirencester, down that part of the world. So yeah, an absolute lovely book. Obviously, it's got a certain amount of age to it. You can see that in the colour of the pages. By Michael Bond, drawings by Peggy Fortnum, and it's a penguin book. And it says here that this book was first published by Collins in 1958, and then was first published in Puffin Books in 1962. And that's this one. So this book is from 1962. So there we go. Absolutely brilliant. I'll enjoy reading that. I know I've almost certain, I know I've read this before many years ago in a different version, but that's the an original Puffin version of it. So yeah, that was another great little find. And then the last find is, back away, the last little find is something that is actually sewing related. So let's have a quick look at that. And some sewists are going to see these and think, yes, I've seen them before. I've got one or two or a big one. And it's these lovely little pin cushions, isn't it? You've seen these, those little folks holding hands around the edge. Absolutely brilliant. And I know I've seen these from when I was young. I've seen other people with them, and I found these two great little ones. And they're not really big. I don't need them to really massive, just enough so I can get a bunch of pins in, because as you see, you know, anybody that sews, and all of us sewists, we all know we always have loads and loads of pins, and we never seem to have enough pins. So a variety of pins in different pin cushions is just brilliant to be able to sort of just populate them with pins, and they'll sit there on the side, and when I need them, so easy to grab and just sort of, yeah. So that was brilliant. So finding them, that was lovely. And there were lots of other things in the thrift stops. The two thrift stores that I went into, and I could have spent ages in there. I could have spent a lot more money, but no, I just sort of tried to stick to something that really, really took my eye, that I really fancied in there, and that's what I got. So I got them. So that was my little thrifting last weekend. Now, the last thing I want to tell you about is a little event taking place quite soon. Which I'm going to go to. It is, and before I tell you about it, I'm not sponsored in any way. There is no association with me and this event in any way, shape or form. I'm just telling you about it because I'm going to go to it and enjoy it. So there we go. It is the British Quilt and Stitch Village, which takes place in Uttoxeter Racecourse, which is in Staffordshire, if I believe rightly. And it takes place on the 24th to the 26th of April. I've been there before. I went there last year, and it was a nice little event. It's not huge, but it's enough to have a nice little day out. And there are stalls there with people selling stuff for people who are crafting or quilting or doing stuff like that. And there's also an exhibition there for all the people that have done works and made quilts and you know, those patchwork displays that are normally quilted, that people do, and then they display them, and then you know, you spread them out on your bed and you can see them, or have them wherever you want. But people do that quite a lot, and it's a big craft. This year's theme is "Let Me Entertain You," so it's going to be nice to go and see what everybody has created and what the exhibition's going to show with the different displays. like I say, and then there'll be the stalls for me to go and have a look around. I probably won't buy anything because I'm not much of a quilter, as it were. I don't do that so much. I like to make clothes more than anything for my sewing, but it's always nice to go and see what people have made and what they've done. It's just I think it's really nice and entertaining, and a good thing to go and see what other people have put so much effort into. Shut that. And what their imagination has brought up. So I'm looking forward to going to that at some point. It's, like I say, it's on for over 3 days, so I can choose whichever day I want to go. But I'm going to go to that at some point and enjoy that. And it's actually relatively cheap compared to a lot of other places that you might go to. And I know it's not a big thing. It's not like the NEC or one of the big shows in London. It's not a large event, but like I say, it's a big enough event that it's a nice little day out, which is what I'm going to do. Go and have a nice little day out at the Quilton Stitch Village at Uttoxeter Racecourse. Of course, parking's free as well, because you go to the racecourse and you've got that parking area to park in, so that's going to be brilliant. So I just thought I'd mention that and let everybody know that that's a thing that takes place, you know. So, you know, you might live close to it, closer than I do, and it might be something you might enjoy going to. But there you go, just thought I'd mention it. So that's it really. That was my week, my weekend, and my sewing, my bit of thrifting. You know, all seems a bit eventful, doesn't it? You know, even though I didn't get that much done, but hopefully push on with the bag and another day or two, and that will hopefully be finished with, and then we'll have another bag to match the skirt. Yeah, and that's it really. That's all I can tell you about. So if you like my video, please do give me a thumbs up. Subscribe if you'd like to. If you click that bell icon, you'll get a notification when my videos come out. Please do comment. I do love reading your comments. It's always nice to hear what you've been doing and what your thoughts are. And if you wish to comment between yourselves, please do. And that's it from me. So I think it's just left me to say thank you very much for watching my video. I look forward to seeing my next video. Bye.
Bye.